Hello, welcome to Gemstone Tarot. This is your weekend tarot reading from a really quite gloomy sky at the moment. This is for the weekend of the 22nd and the 23rd of September. I am using my cheeky little enchanted tarot because I haven't had it out for ages. See, cheeky already. And pretty high boob count in this one, so we'll see what we get. What do we need to know about the weekend? Valentine is out and about, seeing what she can see again, following a trail of dreamies into somebody else's front room. We shall see how that pans out. Ooh! Wow. Seeing a bit of opposition over the weekend. Head versus heart. We have two kings. King of Swords. There he is. He looks slightly less forbidding actually when he's done in the enchanted fashion. But nevertheless still has a certain cutthroat thing going on, doesn't he? Air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. More about the logic, more about the head, more about truth-making decisions and the swing, like that. Then we have the funny old King of Cups, who I always like. Look at him. I don't know, is that an eagle? You know I'm very bad with my ornithological identifications. Is it an eagle? I think it is. Anyone who knows, leave a comment in the comment section. You always know about birds. So, King of Cups, different, I was going to say kettle of fish. Different kettle of fish to the King of Swords. King of Cups is all about the intuition. You see here the snake coming out of the cup. Can you see that there? And just the fact that he's normally as well pictured kind of either with the sea coming over his feet, or he's kind of in one of the tarot packs. Which one is it? Can't remember. He's actually fishing, and then in other ones he's just near a water supply. Okay. He's in the reverse in this one too. Represents Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Represents intuition, water, gut feeling. But also in the reverse, and it's almost the kind of reverse aspects of water signs, of whom I am one. It's when intuition and inspired gut feeling kind of reverses into fear and hocus, or is it hokum? So, I think it's when my mother says, don't disappear up your own backside. I think that's what we're trying to say, okay? There may be a tendency, and sometimes fear does this to us, to disappear up our own backside. No, okay? We have, la morte, or la mort. My terrible languages. Death in the reverse. There's a need for something to happen. There's a need for a change to push through. It's a quite beautiful card, isn't it? Look at that. I mean, I know it's ghoulish. I nearly said gouache then. But it is beautiful. When death is in the reverse, there is resistance. Sometimes resistance comes in the form of snake oil salesman. Notice the snake coming out of his cup, and hokum, and disappearing up our own spiritual backside. It can happen. We all do it. When occasionally, do you know what? The King of Swords approach of cool, clinical rationality, sometimes, not often for me, I'm a Pisces for God's sakes, not often is a better way forward. Even if that means listening to someone you don't really like very much. Have you ever noticed as well, as you get older, that the people you don't like very much are often the people that tell you the most important truths about yourself and your life? It's true. It's annoying, but it's true. Over here, the very opposite of all of this, on a large marrow, we have the High Priestess. This is somebody, I think it was the Oracle at Delphi, people used to come to her and she used to speak in tongues, she used to interpret the vapours, and then people would want to know their destiny. Sometimes the quality of the answer that you get about something is only as good as the purity of the question that you're asking and where you're coming from. So be very clear, okay? If you can be very clear and not disappear up your spiritual backside, then yes, intuition is best. If you can't trust yourself, and I do get into these situations where you don't know if it's intuition or just yourself being ludicrous, okay? Stick to the more straight and narrow. We have the Six of Wands in reverse. Again, this is a situation where he's right next to the King of Cups in reverse. King of Cups is sometimes the last man standing at the bar with a sob story, you know? He's the one who's kind of borders over into the not very interesting drunk person, as opposed to the very interesting I've had a couple of drinks and I'm a bit bubbly person. In other words, King of Cups in reverse has disappeared up his own backside at the bar and nobody wants to hear it, okay? We also have the Nine of Wands in reverse, and this is not being very disciplined, not having our boundaries in place. I think it's just a very kind of, you know, healthy dose of realism. I don't advocate that often on the channel. As you know, I can swim off into like many esoteric pools, and I encourage you to do the same, but just not this weekend. It just feels like keep a grip on it, keep a grip on reality for all of us. I don't want that one. Yes. Okay, this may be true, especially if it's affecting your love life. Don't kid yourself, okay? Again, as my mother says, you know when you're in trouble when you start fooling yourself, okay? Sage advice, okay? Sage advice from Mama G there. Never ending story. Or disappearing up your own backside. She didn't really want to call it that for obvious reasons. Keep it on the straight and narrow. Keep it about as much as you can. I mean, I'm not saying the cold, hard facts, you know, because nothing is one or the other. Neither nout nor summit, as my mum would say. But if you do have to jump the fence, go down the side of rationality and reason. You won't hear me advocate that often, don't worry. You won't. Oh, I'll put you there. We get listening. This is one of the ones that got burnt by my crystal ball. It's a battle wound, okay? A spiritual battle wound. This is about the right kind of listening. And sometimes it's not about straining really hard to hear a spiritual message. It is about actually moving yourself to one side so you can actually allow it to come in without using that spiritual message to get yourself into a never-ending story, okay? Don't keep yourself hooked on something that isn't worth it. That's my advice for the weekend. Leave me a comment, let me know how it resonates, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.